Imagine this. You've just unpacked, cracked open a drink, stepped out onto your private balcony, and by the next day, you're being kicked off the ship. Not a warning, not a fine. Just, please pack your things, you're leaving. That actually happened to a German couple. Why? Because they thought a little balcony romance was cute. The cruise line called it a security incident. Romantic moment? Try trip-ending mistake. And they're not alone. People have been fined, banned for life, even arrested, just for breaking rules they didn't know existed. Have you ever done something on a cruise without realizing it was a rule breaker? Drop it in the comments. We want to hear your stories. In this video, we're diving into real cruise ship mistakes people made inside their own cabins and the very real consequences that followed. Some will make you laugh, others will make you cringe, but all of them 100% avoidable. Before we hit the wildest stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future travel tips that could save your next vacation, literally. Ready? Let's talk about what not to do on your cruise. So here's one for the What Were They Thinking files. Nick Nadev, yep, that guy from YouTube, once jumped off his cruise ship balcony, on purpose, in Nassau. His friends filmed it, probably thinking it'd go viral, and it did, right before Royal Caribbean banned every single one of them for life. Then there was a woman who didn't even jump. She just stood on the railing to take a photo. That was enough to get her blacklisted too. Cruise lines don't mess around with risky behavior, especially not at 15 decks high, above the open sea. They've got zero patience for lawsuits, and even less for rescue operations that could have been avoided. Let's be clear, this isn't a roller coaster. There's no safety harness, no second chances. One wrong move, and it's game over. If you want a thrill, try the water slides, not your balcony. And if you've got kids or teens traveling with you, this rule is non-negotiable. Balcony doors should stay locked when you're not around, and feet should stay firmly planted on the deck, always. Think your balcony is the perfect place for a quick smoke or vape break? Think again. Unless you're sailing with one of those rare German cruise lines that still allow it, lighting up on the balcony is one of the fastest ways to get yourself in hot water. And I mean real hot water, like pack your bags, you're leaving at the next port hot. Passengers have been reported by neighbors in seconds, sometimes before they even finished saying Marlboro. And cruise lines don't need to catch you red-handed, they just need enough smoke and a witness. That's it. Smoking inside your cabin? That'll trigger a $250 deep cleaning fee. Tossing a cigarette butt overboard? That's how actual fires have started on cruise ships. Here's the truth. It's not about the smell. It's about the safety. Fire at sea is a cruise line's worst nightmare. If you need a smoke, use the designated smoking areas. They're there for a reason, and the only thing you should be tossing off your balcony? Maybe some stress, not something that could burn the whole ship down. Renate and Volker thought they were having a private moment. A little champagne, a little ocean breeze, and apparently a little too much passion on their balcony. With the door wide open, they didn't know their romantic moment was turning into a full-blown security incident, but that's exactly how the cruise line labeled it. Turns out, balcony walls have gaps, neighbors have eyes, and yes, there are surveillance cameras in public areas. So before you turn your stateroom into a honeymoon suite, remember, you're not as invisible as you think. The result? They were quietly escorted off the ship at the next port. One-way ticket, no refund. It's not just embarrassing, it's expensive. Look, cruises are romantic. Ocean sunsets, late-night strolls on deck, there's no shortage of magic. But if you're planning something memorable, maybe close the curtains first. No one needs to star in your vacation highlight reel. Cruise ships love music, but they love it in the piano bar or the pool deck, not blasting from your Bluetooth speaker at midnight. Sure, that soft jazz might sound relaxing to you, but to your neighbor trying to sleep after a long shore excursion, it's basically a concert they didn't buy tickets for. Enough noise complaints, and the crew won't hesitate to knock. Some will even confiscate your speaker on the spot. And yes, that includes ukuleles. Doesn't matter how charming your cover of Somewhere Over the Rainbow is, Your cabin's not a stage. What most people don't realize is that cabin walls are whisper thin. You can hear everything: music, phone calls, suitcase zippers, even someone brushing their teeth too enthusiastically. Want to be a 5-star cruise neighbor? Keep the volume low, use headphones, and close doors gently. And save the sing-alongs for karaoke night, where they belong. Here's a weird one that catches a lot of first-timers off guard. Let's say you open your cabin door to grab room service, and at the same time, your balcony door is wide open. Suddenly, whoosh, everything on your desk takes flight. Napkins, receipts, your daily itinerary, even your half-empty cup of coffee now lives on the carpet. You, my friend, just created a cruise ship wind tunnel. It happens because the ship is a sealed environment. The hallway has pressurized air, the balcony opens to open sea, and the second both doors are open, physics throws a party. A loud, messy, chaotic party. At best, your papers scatter. At worst, doors slam so hard they could catch fingers, spill drinks, or freak out anyone nearby. The fix is simple: one door at a time. That's it. Keep your cabin calm, your fingers intact, and your coffee where it belongs. We get it, you love your gadgets. But cruise lines? Not so much. That travel steamer you swear by? Gone. Your mini rice cooker? Confiscated. Even baby bottle warmers and surge protector power strips, if it generates heat or messes with the ship's electrical system, it's not welcome on board. Why so strict? Because fire at sea is more than dangerous. It's every captain's worst nightmare. One spark inside a sealed metal ship packed with people? Hard pass. Some cruise lines even ban things like heated blankets or portable fans. And don't even think about bringing a George Foreman grill. Seriously, someone tried. They got pulled aside at security, had their luggage manually searched, and spent 45 minutes explaining why they thought a grill was okay on a moving ship. Just because it fits in your suitcase doesn't mean it's allowed on board. If you really need something cozy or warm, opt for LED candles or battery-powered gear. Want wrinkle-free clothes? Use a wrinkle release spray or take advantage of the ship's pressing service. Because nothing says welcome to vacation like watching your favorite appliance get taken away before you even reach your cabin. Ever come back to your cabin and notice your charger's unplugged? Nope, it's not a ghost. It's your cabin steward doing their job. On cruise ships, safety trumps convenience. And leaving devices charging while you're out, that's a fire risk they don't take lightly. Doesn't matter if it's a phone, a camera, or your fancy electric toothbrush. If you're not there, they'll pull the plug. They're not being nosy. They're trained to spot and prevent hazards before they happen. Remember, your cabin's a small, closed space, and it only takes one overheating battery to ruin the day for hundreds of people. That iPad you left charging? Not worth a ship-wide fire alarm at 3 a.m. Want cozy vibes without risking an evacuation drill? Bring LED tea lights or a battery-powered diffuser. Same ambiance, zero drama. You see it sitting there, chilled, innocent. That little can of soda in your cabin mini fridge practically winks at you, and you think, well, I did pay for the drink package, right? Wrong. Mini bars are almost never included in drink packages. That means even one can of Coke could quietly sneak a $6.95 surprise onto your final bill. One guest popped open a soda on day one, thinking it was free. By the end of the cruise, they'd racked up over $40 on tiny cans and 2 mystery chocolates they barely remembered touching. Unless you're staying in a luxury suite, the rule of thumb is, if it's in the fridge and looks convenient, it's probably not free. Instead, grab a cocktail by the pool, hit the buffet, or order room service. It's all included. The minibar, it's not a perk. It's a trap. A very well-stocked, very sneaky trap. Cruise ship toilets are not your typical plumbing. They're high-powered vacuum systems, strong enough to suck down whatever they're built for, but also sensitive enough to choke on a single wet wipe. If it didn't come with the bathroom, don't flush it. No wipes, no tissues, no feminine products, no floss, no "but it says biodegradable" excuses. Just toilet paper. That's it. Put the wrong thing down the toilet, and you're risking more than a clogged bathroom. The whole plumbing system could go haywire, above, below, all around. Next thing you know, Deck 6 has that uh-oh smell, and everyone's wondering what you did. And trust us, waiting for a plumber on a moving ship isn't part of the all-inclusive experience. So here's your golden rule. If it's not TP, it goes in the trash. Your neighbors will thank you, so will the crew, and so will your nose. Think your balcony is the perfect place to hang a few damp swimsuits? Maybe air out a shirt or two? Think again, unless you want your underwear skydiving into someone's shrimp cocktail 4 decks below. It gets windy on cruise ships. One gust, and your swimsuit takes off on its own tour of the upper deck. And trust me, chasing it down mid-dinner? Not your finest moment. Plus, balconies are not as private as they feel. People above, beside, and sometimes across from you can see everything. We're talking full view. Add in glass reflections, camera angles, and docked ships pulling up alongside you. Surprise! You just went live. Oh, and those glass bathroom doors? They swing both ways. Ask me how I know. I once walked out of the shower au naturel, just as the cabin steward walked in. I've never respected a do not disturb sign more in my life. So keep your clothes and your dignity where they belong, inside behind closed curtains and off the balcony railing. You found it online. A travel steamer that's 100% cruise approved. The reviews say it's fine. The box even has a picture of a cruise ship on it. Don't believe it. At security, that little gadget is going straight into the confiscation bin, right next to someone's mini rice cooker and a surprisingly large bottle of Febreze. Why? Because cruise ships have very strict fire safety rules. Anything that heats up, irons, steamers, hot plates, heating pads, is usually banned, even if it looks harmless, even if it says safe, even if Facebook said it worked last time. They won't argue with you. They'll just take it. And no, you won't get it back. Want wrinkle-free clothes? Hang them in the bathroom while you shower and let the steam do the work. Or try a wrinkle release spray. It's not red carpet perfect, but it won't get your luggage flagged either. Because the worst kind of travel iron is the one that gets confiscated before you even board and never comes home with you. Bringing a few snacks for the trip? Smart. But let's talk about what not to pack. A sealed bag of pretzels? Totally fine. Last night's leftover pizza? Sandwiches you made at home? A plastic tub of sliced cheese from your fridge? Say goodbye at the gangway. Cruise lines have tight rules around food safety and customs. Anything homemade, unpackaged, or perishable gets tossed at check-in. No debate, no refund, no "but I packed it with love" exceptions. It's not just about cleanliness, it's about protecting ports from contamination, bugs, and diseases that can travel in food. You'd be surprised how many people try to bring fresh fruit off the ship and get slapped with fines at customs, especially in places like Mexico, the Bahamas, or Jamaica. So here's the rule. If it didn't come sealed from a store, leave it at home. You're not saving money, you're just risking an awkward confiscation and a side of public embarrassment. The buffets open 20 hours a day anyway. You'll survive without that Tupperware of tuna salad. Everyone has a comfort item. For some, it's a mini coffee maker. For others, a rice cooker or heated blanket. But cruise security, they see these as red flags. Heating devices, anything with exposed coils or high wattage, are banned on most ships. That includes kettles, portable stoves, warming pads, and yes, even some baby bottle warmers. One guest tried to bring a small electric cooker in their luggage. Security stopped them at embarkation, pulled their bag for manual inspection, and held them back for over 30 minutes just to confiscate the item. It's not about being strict. It's about preventing fire in a metal box floating at sea. If you need warmth, go with LED candles, microwave-safe heat packs if allowed, or request hot water from room service. And don't worry, cruise ships serve coffee 24/7. Not your custom roast? Maybe not, but enough to keep you upright till brunch. Back home, camo pants might be your go-to airport look. Comfy, trendy, easy to blend in. But step off a cruise ship in places like Barbados, Jamaica, or Trinidad, and that outfit can get you into real trouble. In many Caribbean nations, camouflage clothing is strictly for military or police use. Civilians wearing it can be seen as impersonating officials. That means fines, being pulled aside by customs, or even getting turned away at port. No, really. There have been cases where passengers were stopped just for wearing a camo baseball cap. On board, you're fine. But when you're going ashore, that camo outfit could turn your beach day into a border interrogation. So before you pack that camo hoodie or those cargo shorts that make you feel like a Navy SEAL, ask yourself, do I really need this? Or can I just wear literally anything else? Save the statement looks for the pool deck. On land, stick to something that says tourist, not tactical ops. Some seasoned cruisers swear by magnetic hooks. Others bring full-on fabric dividers to split the cabin, create a changing room, a sleep zone, or just some privacy between bunks. Smart? Totally. Allowed? Not always. Cruise lines like Carnival have started cracking down on anything that hangs, blocks, or dangles from the ceiling or walls. Why? Because those clever hacks can interfere with smoke detectors, emergency lighting, and, yep, the crew's ability to respond quickly if something goes wrong. What started as a creative cabin setup could get flagged as a safety hazard, and if it's spotted during inspection, they'll ask you to take it down immediately. Sometimes they'll even confiscate it. And let's be honest, when your DIY curtain wall triggers a fire alarm at sea, that's less Pinterest win and more cruise ship fail. Want privacy without breaking the rules? Go for an eye mask, noise-canceling earbuds, or a compact pop-up sleep tent. All the solitude, none of the safety violations. Cruise ship cabins are tight, but that doesn't mean your creativity needs to set off alarms. Literally. That drone you've been dying to fly over crystal blue water? Great idea, in theory. But cruise lines have their own set of rules, and they're not always drone-friendly. Some ships allow you to bring one on board, but here's the twist. You're not allowed to use it on board. Not on the balcony, not on deck, not even when the ship is docked. The minute you take off, security comes running. On many sailings, the crew will hold your drone in storage and only return it once the cruise ends. Not ideal for getting those sweeping sunset shots. And even if you plan to use it on land, each port has its own drone laws. Some require permits, others ban them completely. One wrong move, and you could be explaining yourself to customs, or worse, airport security on the way home. So before you pack that sleek, new flying camera, check the cruise line's drone policy and every country on your itinerary. Because the only thing worse than missing that perfect aerial shot is watching your $800 drone spend the whole trip locked in a closet. Thinking of surprising your partner with a bouquet as you set sail? Sweet idea, but not so fast. Most cruise lines don't allow fresh flowers, potted plants, or anything with soil on board. Why? Because even a small bouquet can carry invasive insects, fungal spores, or plant-borne bacteria, the kind that can quietly wreak havoc on island ecosystems or sensitive shipboard environments. Your cabin is part of it, but the bigger concern is the next port and the need to protect local agriculture from potential contamination. Yes, really, that adorable pot of daisies could land you in customs trouble. And some countries even have quarantine rules for soil. So what can you do instead? Many cruise lines offer in-room floral delivery. Want a rose waiting at dinner or a bouquet in your cabin when you arrive? Done, legally, safely, and without risking a tense conversation with port security. And whatever you do, don't bring your own potted bonsai as a travel companion. That's not quirky, it's contraband. Oh, and the wedding cake you lovingly boxed up. That might not make it past the gangway either. Cruise cabins, especially on older ships, aren't exactly known for having a ton of outlets. So naturally, smart travelers bring backup. Power strips, surge protectors, maybe a trusty 6-foot extension cord. Except, that's exactly what gets flagged at check-in. Power strips with surge protection? Banned. Extension cords longer than your arm? Confiscated. Why? Because they can interfere with the ship's electrical systems or even become a fire hazard if misused. And no, it doesn't matter if it worked on your last cruise. Policies have gotten tighter and security isn't taking chances. So what can you bring? Go for a compact, cruise-safe adapter. No surge protection, just basic outlets and a couple of USB ports. Bonus points if it's short and tidy. The less wire spaghetti you have snaking around your cabin, the better. Remember, you're on vacation, not rewiring a home office. Pack smarter, charge safer, and avoid the sorry, we had to take this note from security. Packing a pair of scissors for your travel sewing kit? Maybe a pocket knife for those just-in-case moments? Hold up, those small tools might not seem like a big deal, but to cruise security, they can be a red flag. As a general rule, if it's sharp and over 4 inches long, it's probably getting pulled at check-in. That includes fabric scissors, crafting blades, and yes, even certain nail clippers if they're on the heavy-duty side. We've even heard of guests getting their needlepoint kits flagged, just because the scissors inside were a little too ambitious. One woman even missed boarding because a nail scissor triggered a full secondary inspection. Not exactly how you want to start your vacation. Don't let your sewing hobby trigger a full bag search. You'll go from peaceful cross-stitcher to randomly selected real quick. So what's safe? Think tiny. TSA-style grooming scissors, safety razors, and anything clearly non-threatening usually make the cut, pun intended. But if you're not sure, leave it out, or check the cruise line's official list before you pack. Because the last thing you want is to start your cruise with a confiscation slip and no embroidery to calm your nerves. You packed the water guns, maybe a few Nerf blasters for the kids. They're bright orange, clearly fake, and guaranteed to keep the little ones entertained at sea. Unfortunately, cruise security doesn't see it that way. Anything resembling a weapon, even in the slightest, is likely to be confiscated at boarding. That includes water pistols, bubble guns, foam shooters, and yes, even toy swords if they look too real. It's not personal. It's policy. And with today's security standards, they're not about to make exceptions for a toy that could spook another guest or cause confusion on board. Some cruise lines have had to implement full bans after kids started mock battles on the pool deck. Cute? Maybe. Chaos? Definitely. So do yourself and your kids a favor. Leave the toy arsenal at home. Pack a beach ball, a card game, or something less tactical. Because nothing kills vacation vibes like explaining to your 6-year-old why their water blaster now lives in a locked storage room. You're packing light, just the essentials. And maybe a small bottle of CBD oil to help you sleep. It's THC-free, perfectly legal in your state, and sold over the counter. Here's the problem. You're not sailing under state law anymore. Cruise lines follow international maritime law, and most have a zero-tolerance policy when it comes to CBD, cannabis-derived products, and anything that even sounds like weed, even if it's totally legal where you live. Passengers have been removed from ships over a single bottle of tincture. No refund, no return flight, just a very expensive lesson in international travel rules. Some ships even bring in drug-sniffing dogs during embarkation. And once you're flagged, there's no explaining your way out of it with a sleepy time tea excuse. So before you toss that CBD balm into your toiletries bag, ask yourself one question. Is it really worth risking your entire cruise over a product the ship considers contraband? Better to skip it and sleep easy, knowing you'll stay on board. Most cruise lines allow you to bring one bottle of wine on board, just one. But try sneaking in anything stronger, rum, vodka, tequila, and before you know it, you've joined a time-honored cruise tradition, the great booze smuggle. People get creative. Shampoo bottles refilled with gin. Mouthwash dyed blue to mimic the real thing. Even sunscreen containers with screw-off tops. And yes, they sell those on Amazon in full smuggling kits. But here's the truth. Cruise security has seen every single trick. Hundreds of times. And they're really good at spotting what's fake, what's sealed, and what smells suspicious. We've heard of passengers getting entire bags searched just because one bottle clinked funny. And when they catch you, the alcohol gets poured out. Right there, into the drain. No refunds, no second chances. Some guests even end up flagged with a security note for the rest of the cruise. So ask yourself, is it worth the stress? Instead, consider buying a drink package. It might seem pricey up front, but it's way cheaper than losing a bottle of Grey Goose and getting the side eye from the security team all week. So there you have it. Some of the biggest cruise cabin mistakes people make without even realizing. Some are funny, some are frustrating, and some can end your vacation before it even begins. A travel steamer, a balcony selfie gone too far, a snack from home, a bottle you thought was cleverly hidden in your mouthwash. Most of these slip-ups come from good intentions or just not knowing the rules. But when you're sailing with thousands of others on a floating city in the middle of the ocean, safety, cleanliness, and respect for the rules aren't just suggestions. They're what keep the whole operation running smoothly. So here's the takeaway. Pack smart, act responsibly, and don't assume what's okay on land is okay at sea. Cruising should be carefree, and it will be, as long as you stay informed, aware, and maybe just a little less adventurous with your extension cords and mini bar choices. If you found this helpful, tap that like button, subscribe for more cruise tips, and share this video with your travel buddy who definitely needs a packing intervention. Safe travels, smooth seas, and we'll see you on deck.